Hi everyone, another clip. So negative people and that I wanted to look at, So I overheard these couple of ladies talking once, and one lady said to the other lady, I've got to get away from all these negative people and that in my life. I need to surround myself in positivity and, it's like because those sorts of people are just bringing me down and they're draining my energy and I think I've just got to put some distance and space there and I already when I overheard that, I was kind of like, well, many layers I was looking at as always. So I'm looking at, well, if we're creating our own reality, then everything that's going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever, all should be embraced, with curiosity. Because it's all reflecting insight to us in some way, helping us grow, helping us make known the unknowns of ourselves. And so, and then when she said that and that, I kind of thought, and if that person is being really negative and everything, then it's kind of like, be thankful that you're only putting up with them for an hour. Like, they got to put up with themselves 24/7, and that's got to be hard, And then this overwhelming kind of like compassion in that, like I really felt that. And then I started to reflect on an experience that I'd been having in that, and it was with Mum, and because Mum could always be so negative and everything, and when it was all like thoughts create reality and positive thinking and everything, it's like that actually all escalated and started to annoy me. So I'd always kind of harp on at her and go, Mum, like what you think creates reality in that. You need to think more positively and not be so negative, and just letting it affect me in that, and wanting her to be different and needing her to be different in that. And then one day realising that actually, that's their journey, it's what they're going through, and it's got to be hard. And so a lot of compassion for that sits with me now when I'm with people that are really in that battling, and so I approached the whole situation with Mum a lot differently after what was realised, with I don't know, I started to have fun with it, instead of needing her to be different for me to feel okay, it's like I shouldn't need anybody to be any different for me to feel okay, people should be able to be free to be who they are. And then, so when all that shifted for me is I'd kind of go home and I'd walk in and she'd be like, oh gosh, where'd you get that ghastly shirt from, like, as soon as I'd walk in the door, it's just Mum. I don't know why she's like that, but she's like that, And so now I'd kind of turn around and I'd be like, oh my gosh, Mum, it only took you 60 seconds to, to pour on the compliments. Like, you're getting way better. Like last time it only took you 30 seconds. And I'd have a giggle and I'd have a laugh with it and I'd have fun with that with her, and taking off all of that added pressure as well of her feeling like she's annoyed me or upset me or, oh, wow, there goes a good day. Or, like everything that would have come out of my need for her to be different. And so, and I think I was getting all that insight at the time because I was really kind of starting, or have been actually the whole time, trying to understand the journey of the relationship with my own self and that, so had this increased awareness of others' journeys with the relationship with themselves and that, and so there's never a need to get rid of anything in your reality per se, like you're creating it. It's all got so much to offer, like huge amounts of understanding and clarity and insight and everything. Every experience has to offer that we're going through, but we're just kind of like externalizing things and operating at a very surface layer of it all. And even when I was going through that Mum stuff and that, because I was in the whole kind of like think positive and that being important and that, which I made mention of before. But then I thought, actually, it's really good that we're concluding that we're in the driver's seat and that thoughts do create reality. But how are you going to walk out your door tomorrow and start thinking positive when you didn't set out to think negative to start with yesterday? You know? Like the whole thinking positive and think negative thing, like, you know, and even back in the 90s that we went into like trying to manage that, you know, like think positively, like do affirmations in the mirror and that, you know, like, because if you think positively, you'll have a positive life in that, you know, like all of those scenarios, you know, ways in which we were trying to self-improve at the time with what had come to light, you know, and thinking's just going on, okay? We're not deciding what to think and then thinking it, you know, it's just operating, you know. That's why I've got an awareness. It's like we're aware of what's operating. And so if you have a good relationship with who you are and you like who you are and you have that healthy relationship with yourself, you know, then you just will think positively. And so if people are quite negative thinkers and they bring a real negative energy to the table and that, and then, you know, it's like, man, they've got a lot going on with the relationship with themselves. That's where all that's coming from. But we all take it personally, or we all kind of decide to add pressure to that and tell them how they're being and that they need to change, that they need to do this. What, you think they're sitting there intentionally setting out to be an ass? No, it's just going on, you know. Lots of us aren't even aware of women being like that, you know. And so I kind of, throughout the whole journey, it's just became a more growing curiosity about things, not a need for them to be in a positive or negative or a place to get to or anything, you know. And so you don't need to get rid of the negative people and just create the positive ones. I mean, good luck with that anyway. I mean, you're aligning to negative because there's something sitting with you that can shed some light on, or, you know, it's like there's never a need to have to get rid of anything. If you're the creator of reality and everything's happening for you, then you thinking you've got to get rid of things, or even you getting annoyed by things, doesn't make any sense, and it just contradicts that, you know, that theory. Yeah, so give others the freedom to be who they are, because those battling with themselves and those that are negative don't need that coupled with, you know, a need with the added pressure knowing that that's annoying you and that frustrating you in ways, and I don't need the added pressure of that. Let them be free who they are, you know, like they're not wanting to feel that way or be that way, so that's ultimately going to moving through experiences to accomplish change at some level, you know, their journey perfectly happening as yours is. Yeah.